jungler right away, because Vitality, they are encouraged to pick up the Beleric in the first phase. With the Valentina gone, then Falcons won't have their own Wrath of Dryad to steal away. And with the Atlas banned by Vitality as well, they might just pick up the Beleric here and now.
And did they just go for the Beleric Herrera? They were the same thing as last time, pretty much.
Beleric Herrera, Beleric Ling. Honestly.
Or just either don't even pick up the assassin because you're going to get one of the three.
Yeah, it's like you have such a wide field to play with. You could just adjust. A lot of options here for Vitality, but because
left for mid lane.
Okay, so they will get the Ling Beleric as expected. Mid lane for Moreno. Let's see if they're still willing to play the Juice in later on, maybe into Red 3, Red 4. But I think a lineup that can clear the mid a little bit faster for Vitality will encourage them to take control of the river and make sure that their Ling is happy.
Does Falcon commit once again to an assassin pick? Or do they try to switch things up here a little bit? We've seen a lot work against the assassins. They go for the Fanny once again. In the Barats into the EXP this time. Do we think we're going to see maybe something crazy and get the double fighter off? The only time we've seen the Barats so far is when there's also a fighter in gold or something of that nature.
But it's tough considering that Vitality is going to be coming back at Red 4 as the first pick, and they have bans. They can just take away the Paquito. The Freya's already gone. Usually when we saw Barrets in the EXP and then it's paired up with another fighter in the opposite side, it's either just the Paquito and the Freya, unless they're going to dig deep and go for something else, like maybe along the lines of a Ruby, but you don't really see enough picks that would warrant that. I think they can just double down and play the traditional in terms of their gold lane option, but let's see how it's going to go. Melissa is still going to be the pick here for Vitality, and the problem right now is for Falcons, because of their picks, they don't have enough that long range reach to really mess up this Melissa. With the Ling, with the Beleric especially, Eman might be on the way to another bulletproof game.
Looking good for Vitality in my book, at least for first side of this draft. At least in terms of how they were able to make everything work last game. Don't get me wrong, the early game could still be troublesome for them. Falcons had an amazing early game last time with the Fanny pick and everything else behind it. So Falcons maybe want to also run back the same type of game, but just play a little bit better, close it out a little bit faster.
Maybe. Oh wow, respect on the Minotaur of Ogwyn. That actually could have messed up the lineup of Vitality. At least that wider reach might give Falcons a moment to not get peppered by the basic attacks of that Melissa. So maybe the fact that they're not going, they're going into the second phase of the drafting without their Ogwyn pick just yet might hurt them. Atlas is gone, Beleric was taken away, the Minotaur option's gone.
We see the Badong Ben from Falcon this time.
And they did. Good call, Drax, good call. Still respecting the possibility that Beleric will suddenly show up in the EXP lane. Beleric, who would have thought, would end up becoming a really poisonous flex pick for MSC at EWC 26.
All right, so now Vitality, last ban on the field. Take out the Minotaur. Do they keep going into the roaming position? What is really left at this point?
Really trying to run through the names of roamers, but in terms of the top ones we see, these are like the main trades, unless Falcons are going to pick up something like the Cho.
Could still be a possibility.
Yeah, at least there's going to be a moment where you will be able to knock up the Melissa in her ult, but then you'll get yeeted out of the dome right away with a getaway. But if they're going to play this Barracks in the EXP, you're encouraged to be able to rotate fast and clear fast in the mid. You need a concussive blast roamer with this Eudora. They might still just end up picking up the Cho there.
Cho could definitely be a possibility.
They can close out with a Cho Moskov, maybe, for Marco. Would it be too crazy? If Vitality are looking to, and if they're willing to get a mid laner that has to shred damage for the Barons, they might want to go and consider the Lunox at the center of the map. Oh, Sora getting taken. Oh,
Lunox definitely not a bad pick. You get the Brilliance to get away from the Fanny as well. You have some defensive capabilities. You don't have as much range against the Eudora, and you can still get one-shotted. You know, it's because the Eudora is just so quick about it, you don't have, it could be dangerous. On the side of Vitality,
they do need to
lock in your mid here and save the flex.
Yeah.
Save the EXP flex, the possibility.
Yeah, at least you have room to adjust and surprise. That Beleric. I think it's something that's making Falcons scratch their heads. They banned out the roamer, they banned out an EXP option, so that is still definitely something they're thinking about. Is Vitality going to be picking up here? Maybe a little bit more range through the mid or a little bit more shred. Which route are they going to go? How about a little bit more sustainability? They pick up the Esmeralda, the EXP. They do show their options already for Roman EXP. You're just waiting for their mid laner now.
So yeah, you just, like you said, we pick up the Moskov for Falcon.
Yeah. Moskov
Do you
and
think
Cho.
they could go something like the Kaja here? Something to pick off this lane?
I think for that,
Ruby roam?
just of how fast.
Against the Esmeralda?
Oh,
possibly catch the Ling whenever he dashes in?
Yeah, but tough considering the Belleric and the Melissa, so it sounds like it's 50-50 because you're getting a lot of good things, but I feel like the bad things you get out of a Ruby Robe surprise might be worse. So Kaja, in terms of pick-off, I can see it, but I still leaning towards the show. They go for the Brody, okay.
One of the few heroes that can probably get that can put out some range.
Right. This was one of the picks that Falcons have already shown here. The Akai roam for Ogwen. They get the Brody. Kai and Eudora in the center. It's fast, clear. Not as fast in the rotations, but it will be annoying for the Link to deal with in the team fights. But again, the problem still stands. Will they be able to reach this Melissa with a composition that Falcons has? Their front line needs to be stalwart. It needs to hold for a long time so that Brody can get the stacks off, pop that torn apart memory, melt them front to back until the Melissa has to get away.
So last pick for Vitality, still need a mid laner. Eve's open, we haven't seen that in a bit. Jushin's also still open. They just go for the Jushin, right?
Yeah, something that we mentioned also could be good and could be annoying for the Akai. You're going to be forced to use your dashes. The Vexana! Because of the Akai and the Barrets in front of you, and it does have a lot of disengagement protection for the Melissa.
Yeah, definitely a great answer. Overall, we've seen it picked once before. And even when before I was kind of questioning it, we saw how well he can do with the stiff arm, with the ability to get that Terrify. Something similar to the arrow, not as long stunning as the arrow, but something still similar, right? So if he can make some of those quick picks, drop down the warrior in the nick of time, it could be detrimental to the way they want to play this game.
All right, that has been it for myself and Trex here at the studio. Will we see another game where both teams get to do what their lineup wants to do, or will one of them dominate? One to either advance right now or to still hold on and force a game number 3. Bring you over to our casters, Brigida and Gideon.
Thanks so much. It's going to be a good day here today because we're all hoping that this is not going to be a one-sided battle. We need to see a repeat of game number 1 where both sides are basically turning this MOBA into a fighting game as we jump into game number 2. Team Falcons PH on the blue side, facing off against Team Vitality on the red side. And let's go through this composition because again, that Vexana last pick actually is pretty genius here. So good at like just not only peeling off, but becoming a legitimate threat to the front line. It's like Owen at a certain point will not be able to take that kind of damage from Moreno.
And it's like adding an additional front line to your lineup in general, which I feel would work out really well for them, but that's multiple pull yourself together.
So many. Now, instant evade here.
Fork Lightning, stunning multiple members, but Kyle, unfortunately, had to be the first one to go down in this fight. A not so good start for Falcons, but they traded out with the Roamer, which I don't think makes it any better.
It does make it any... can somebody punish this? Yep, there we go. Haji goes down and Moreno survives as he ego challenges it. No problem. Full faith that the rest of the team... I mean, Moreno got the last pick. He was ready to give that kill over and trade his life for Nile. Like, he did not care at all. He has done his job, and he knows he's going to do it again and again and again.
Okay, that looked really good with Fork Lightning just catching multiple members too, though, but I guess you have to really pay attention to this being a Belleric and you just potentially being caught again. If Moreno went down here, I feel like that'll somewhat equalize things a bit, but the fact that he didn't, I really feel like Vitality got the better out of that. But also, I feel like in terms of compositions, I also want to point out how at least with Yakai pick, they kind of forced out the Purify from Emma. So that might make things a bit better for Falcons too when it comes to the team fights later on.
And that was something that I was trying to figure out, right? I was talking to you telling like, man, how do we force this Ballista to actually take the Purifier? I think Owen has got a pretty good answer to that. Falcons already have this first position, and I don't see it happening as bot side is getting attacked.
Yep, Super Marco looking like the target here. Doesn't have the ultimate yet, but he doesn't need it anyway and will survive. Just had to burn the flicker nonetheless, but at least he didn't have to go down with that attempt.
Yep, all he lost was his flicker. He still doesn't lose out too much. And even you can see Emon making sure he's doing his due diligence, throwing muddles into tri-brushes to open up that side of the map for him, just in case anything. Well, that was a Daytona's welcome.
Oh, on to Shogun, and with the help of Kyle, they actually pick up the kill. So this is a different approach to the combos that we saw from Vitality. It's a Barret and a Fanny working together now.
But I do think it was interesting, right? They already knew that it was going to be Barats playing into Shogun at this stage of the game, right? And I think the only way that Shogun actually has any chance in this lane is hitting and trading really well against Flap before he gets the stacks. Once he's gotten to that enraged Dino form and he can start doing the stomps in the middle of the wave, he will out-sustain Shogun until Shogun gets that enchanted talisman.
Yeah, he didn't have the Purify at that point too, right?
You're right,
So
yes.
there was just no way to really get out of it, and he had to accept his fate right there. Owen gets pulled down a bit here though. He still have a couple seconds before the next objective spawns, but Falcons have been just quietly increasing this lead that they have in their hands.
It's still a small lead. We saw how game one went, so until we start seeing like a 5K lead, something closer to like the 6K, then there should be, you know, a sigh of relief for all the Falcons fans out there. But for now, 2-2, a pretty even score as Nala has been hopping around and stealing away camps here and there.
He actually got that gold crab, I feel, using the retribution for it though, but it's gonna come up again once the objective spawns anyway. But I feel like nonetheless Vitality will struggle to a certain extent when if they wanna contest, because it's an Akai still that they're dealing with. It's not an Akai jungle, but I think that makes it all the more difficult to deal with, because its primary objective, it's not split between having to secure the objective and having to zone out. It's just really zoning out.
Yeah, that was a... I'm gonna touch on it later, but for now, the fight.
There you go, it's the heavy spin pushing them away, and now Vitality are unable to contest for the objective. But the flicker in from Spin and the falling star from Shogun, the knockup as well from the Eternal Guard. Flap actually finds one, but that's a Purify used by Shogun, so he will be okay. Tempest of Blades come in from Nile. Kyle trying to look for his target to go away. He had to change target, and the Terrify from the Deathly Grasp. He couldn't just freely cable his way through the fight.
That's a 3-for-2 trade in favor of the Falcons here, and I think that Vitality, it was a pretty good idea overall. If they got Super Marco at the end there, it would have been 100% worth it. But just look at this Wombo combo, right? How do you deal with this? And this is why I think the Vexana is so good, because now it's not about priority targets. I do max % health damage. Build what you want. Hey, you know what? Build 3 Guardian Helms if you really want to.
Yeah. So far, Moreno again and Eman have been untouched in this game. And it's starting to become a problem, I think, for Falcons, because you even saw how Flap was just so decisive and wanting to go for it. Hold on, Owen. It's not a good time to be.
Look, he's not lagging. Both sides are not lagging. They're playing a perfect ping here at EWC. Iman is baiting him to do it.
Oh, they're all going in for Haji! Couldn't survive that. Now it's going to be Kyle trying to look for a trade, but he will be unable to find Nile.
Oh.
Now it's Finn setting up with a Wrath of Dryad. And now they're in the jungle of Team Falcons.
Darn it, if only Nile had just a little bit more energy, he could have re-entered that fight to take Kyle out. But now, they've kind of used everything at this stage. They got their profit, they walk away. No point trying to greed out for more. And I think the Falcons this time, they need to kind of break the battle lines. I think instead of Flap having to target some of the other characters here, I think he might need to just jump on Moreno, but I want him to go for Iman at the same time. It's just a tough call.
You really have to think hard about who your target is going to be, because it's very single target, and Haji has just not been able to have the same free time as Moreno in this game. In the series, at least.
Yeah.
Moreno has been too free. The way that they've been linking together with Finn has been such phenomenal performance from Vitality so far. But now let's see, because Falcons are setting up for this turtle.
Oh, interesting. Conceal to push Shogun out of position, allowing Vitality to reveal themselves first. The big issue is that Finn has that flicker and Wrath of the Dryad, so, I mean, they've got good counter engage, so somehow Flap and Owen need to poke out their targets. I would argue that Haji needs to as well, but there's so many times where as soon as he shows up, that's an instant engagement from the side of Vitality.
Yep, at least Ogwen now somewhat finds his way back to the turtle pit, but Emma is feeling like a Zona right now. The way he just puts Muddles out there and deals a certain amount of damage towards the front lines. It's not just making things easy for Falcons, who just want to position themselves around this pit. Owen now below half HP! Flap doesn't land the Daytona's welcome, and the heavy spin flicker combo just to get away, but Owen might just be the first to fall here in this fight. It's a killing spree for Moreno! Kyle doesn't even have his purple book yet, and Niall's not allowing him to take it freely. He still has the retribution, but he can't get close.
This is a scary game. Holy cow. Like not,
cow.
oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Old Flap could not stand that. What? Where could he go? There's not much mobility you can rely on as a Barrett either. It's just the Daytona's welcome charge, and that's about it.
This game is kind of ridiculous because it's really a game of chicken, right? It's whoever backs down from the fight first, and unfortunately for Falcons, for them to reposition, it's a lot harder in comparison to Vitality, who again are playing all for one and one for all with Iman here, who's doing a phenomenal job of keeping himself alive, and best yet, he's almost single-handedly getting Owen to use the heavy spin on him.
And when Kyle went for him, he didn't even feel the need to use the go away just yet. He's just that much ahead on this Melissa. Again, 0 deaths in this game. No one could target him. So you could just sense that he perfectly mastered the timings in which he is supposed to use the go away, and that's posing multiple problems from Falcons right now.
Yeah, and every single time you see Kyle trying to contest, trying to get a set. Wait, hold on.
Okay, Eman still has the Purify, not using it yet, just uses the go away, and it's gonna be enough to push Owen out. Kyle trying to go for the engagement, Wrath of Dryad wasn't get catching.
Oh, no!
members. Eman's though alive again.
No!
Falcons are low, and Niall is here for the cleanup.
No!
Even under the turret, he's fine.
Kyle missed one cable, the most important cable from the destroyed structure of the turret. It just slipped right in between. I thought it was going to connect, but there was just too much noise in the middle of it to be accurate. Let's look at it one more time. Because again, Owen keeps him locked down, but as soon as the go away is done, Kyle instantly takes out one target, looks for the second, but that last cable didn't connect, so he couldn't get that last bit of burst, allowing Iman to reposition. How unfortunate.
It just got a bit too messy, I agree.
Oof.
It's so unfortunate. Now you feel the responsibility that Kyle has right now, because at that point, Eman was within reach.
It was. They were. And I think that right now, if they just need Super Marco to just live for a little bit longer.
No, oh, what? No, okay, that was a warranted attempt from Falcons. They finally get the kill onto Eman. Finn now left alone, using Wrath of Dryad, still surviving for just a bit longer. Niall though, does he want to go in? Will he find a target? He will probably wait a bit more and just play it safe for now.
And I love the fact that Niall, they both understand each other's composition. So now, just existing, just putting himself in a position where he is visible to the Falcons will make them second guess. Hey, we don't want to greed this out too much. We already got what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Finn and Iman are down. We can take first position at this point. Now the next problem is Moreno until Iman gets back to the pit.
Yeah, and that was unexpected. You wouldn't really expect Sir Super Marco and Haji to be the combo to take out Emma, but I guess the damage really is going to come from them now. It's Kyle securing the objective, but Niall goes in. Haji very low on HP. Emma's going to finish him off, and the backlines are being taken care of, and Emma's just freely throwing out these needles. Shogun being in the face of 3 members of Falcons, and now there's a Daytona's welcome coming from Flap, but he will not survive this attack.
Wow.
God, flying in! Go away, keeping Emma safe! But Falcons are going to settle with that.
Man, that was nasty. Shogun purposefully just standing right on top of Flap. As soon as he saw the Daytona's welcome, all he had to do was position himself just a little bit further to make sure people step away. But just look at this, right? Instantly, they find a big punish onto Haji, right? Niall had to quickly use that Bladed Tempest. If not, he was gonna get locked down into this wall. But look at it, Shogun. Instantly, he zones Super Marco and then walks back into the Daytona's welcome to get eaten, allowing him on to get the free hits. Luckily, Kyle and Flap communicated. We can at least blow one of them up.
Yep. Now it's a Blade of Despair pickup for Niall, as well as Moreno gets the Blood Wings. Falcons are going to utilize this Lord to at least equalize and get a bit more map control though.
Stolen. Nice. Nice. That's going to take away a little bit of influence coming in from Nile. He can't just do whatever he wants willy-nilly. He will have to go into a side lane and then recall rather than walk his butt back. But you know, considering everything and considering game number one, Vitality have shown that they are great on the defense, right? They pulled the lead back onto their side, and now they're just handing it back over to Falcons until the next Lord's fight.
Yep, they have a lot of ways to deal with it there, honestly. It's a Vixana, it's a Melissa, and you just really can walk up front knowing that they have Muddle, knowing that they have a potential Eternal Guard dropping down on you at any moment. So they will somehow still be able to deal with the Lord, and this is still a very small lead that they're seeing 12 minutes into the game. So I feel like even Falcons at this point would be very careful and would not really assume that they're in a complete advantage just yet.
I think, honestly, they recognize that they're actually at a disadvantage until Haji is able to close the distance onto Eman in one shot. I don't see this game going the way that they want to, because even for Super Marco, right, his damage is, yes, great, against structures, against heroes, sure, it's fine. But the big issue is that he's running Sky Piercer. He's a big finisher. He cannot keep up with a hard DPS that's being pumped out of Eman like an absolute sweatshop factory. He's getting kicks out for everybody.
Yeah, Emma right now, it's great that Falcons had found a way to deal with him, but it's only been that one instance up top. Other than that, let's see how they deal with it this time. That's the ultimate already coming out from Haji. Vitality are still gonna be okay though. Kyle trying to fly over the other members, but Moreno, did you see that? He was just like walking, avoiding the cables. Not even much reaction coming out of Moreno in that sequence.
Yeah, does Nile have his purple buff? Because I saw Haji throwing out his ultimate, like, you know, his life depended on it. Luckily, Nile does actually have his purple buff, so good. At least we know that Haji, he's willing to throw his ult out. It's pretty short cooldown at this stage of the game, and I think this next Lord spawn, it's a make it or break it for either side. They're dead even in gold. Majority of the outer turrets have been destroyed. It is a very awkward parallel between the two.
I'm so not used to seeing this small of a lead already 30 minutes into this game. It's literally insignificant. It's so close between Team Falcons and Team Vitality right now. Both junglers on the opposite sides, but it's just gonna be a recall for now.
Now it's about, I think it's the macro, right?
Yeah.
At this point, it's how do you get under and how do you figure out a good timing? And I think that both Vitality and Falcons, they're junglers, right? They're not showing themselves on the side lanes. And Vitality have at least a huge advantage when it comes down to poking them out. Because every single time, right? Open walks up, Eman instantly throws out Muddles.
Yep.
Waits for the cooldown, rinse and repeat.
Watch out for Haji though. They gotta watch out for Haji. They gotta check where he is.
Oh, he doesn't know. They have no idea now. Wait, is Finn gonna double check it? He might.
Okay, they still don't know.
Oh.
Because I don't think it hit. I don't think the first still connected.
And it doesn't reveal the entire bushes until it connects onto somebody. You're absolutely right with that. But Nile finally gets the endless battle and his position. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Hey, Finn, you're walking straight into something. Okay, now they spot Haji. Eman is gonna be fully aware that Haji will be positioned at that spot, but it is gonna be a quick reposition. Falcons are really trying to play around this glass cannon pick of potential for Haji.
Yeah, they're trying to like slowly slot him into that backline, and Colin as well as Nile. Oh, good stuff coming in from Nile, instantly revealing him, and now Vitality should have a little bit more confidence to start walking back up into that first position again, and maybe set up a slow push down on bot side.
Yeah, but it's Haji. It's Haji and Owen walking up top to support! Kyle with a kill and take down Nile! Vitality might want to commit to this fight here in the Lord pit though. It's a flicker from Flap, gets cancelled out real quick. The knock from the Eternal Guard and the heavy spin from Owen. Flap is gonna be traded out. Owen looking like the next target, but Vitality have to play it safe. Kyle is within the area.
Ooh, nice movement coming on from Aman. Kyle was thinking for half a second, if he keeps running away, maybe I go for the chase. I saw get thrown out. I saw the taunt get thrown out. More importantly, wait a minute, the Wrath of the Dryads has come back off of cooldown, right? Finn has been holding it for the longest time, and even though they don't have their retribution for the next 7 seconds, they're trying to make sure that Falcons, hey, you're gonna fight on our terms, on our turf.
Okay, they're starting this. Nile's gonna be back. He's going to be back real quick. Owen now facing the damage, already below half HP. Haji already using the ultimate. Kyle showing up behind, but they're just going for the Lord! Kyle! He's shut down by Nile!
This game The conceal. Wait, Finn, he might flicker for this, but now underneath their own inhibitor, that conceal is going to keep them safe. The trades have been beautiful from both sides. What a tight game this is, and really just showing the extent of Melissa. She can sustain underneath the Lord, no problem. Throws out Muddles. She can not only kill the Lord, but also poke out Ogwyn at the same time.
And deal with Kyle. It's crazy to think how Emma is able to do this on a Melissa.
One man, three problems solved.
Now they're taking one base turret down bottom, and they still have the Lord marking the base. That's an immortality pickup for Finn. They're getting poked down. Oh, this one is welcome, not connecting. Flap now getting knocked up, and Donnet as well. He's already very, very low. But Nile, he gets caught. Emma just trying to deal with the base turret for now, but they don't have any minions left. Another Eternal Guard, and a wave coming in mid.
No, but they have nothing to worry about as Ogwyn tries to pull them away, forcing out at least one flicker. Oh, turn around!
A flicker from Finn to set the Wrath of Dryad in place. And it's only Kyle, Haji, and Owen left to defend, but can they? They're approaching the base. They have minions left.
It can't
It's a
like
flicker
this.
from Haji, but Eman is still alive.
And the defense is successful from Falcons. Haji, despite all the damage thrown into his face, manages to hold on. There's one more wave though. Kyle, he's gonna have to pull it somehow.
Emma got his HP back,
Oh.
but was confident of the kill. He had a bit of danger. He couldn't, and another muddle setup. Haji finds Shogun, but the heavy spin to push the minions out. Can he do this time?
Come on, Iman! It takes out immortality purchased with a hot claw. He's going to be able to sustain. Finally, this might be a Super Marco. Doesn't make it in time. And there you have it.
8-2-0 for Team Vitality as they secure the knockout stage.
Oh, what a beautiful game. Oh my goodness. I needed to see just one more. Just one more game. That would have been great. But now a new problem has arisen. A polished Melissa coming up from Iman, solving three unique problems all at the same time. The tournament meta is starting to evolve and really coming into its own.
And it feels like each team has their very own version of it.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I'm speechless because this early game, right? This Vexana pick really came in clutch to kind of work it the same way as the Eudora. You want to hurt your opponents, but at the same time, the big problem with Eudora is she's oppressive when she's ahead. But she, unfortunately, similarly to Moreno on this Vexana, are hyper squishy and are very useless once their cooldowns are depleted.
Yeah. The only time we really got to see them maximize the Eudora burst was when they had to burn the flicker alongside it too. So that put Haji in a very vulnerable position already, and that's something they just had to accept because they weren't able to really make anything